Did you guys know that there is no such thing as absolute freedom of speech in the United States? But wait, this is actually a good thing. Let me explain. You see, in international domestic law, there are three types of human rights. There's absolute rights, limited rights, and qualified rights. Absolute rights means the governments cannot infringe on those rights no matter what. So, for example, citizens can't be tortured. But most people are surprised to learn that freedom of speech doesn't fall under this category. Instead, speech is what's known as a qualified right, meaning that governments can, in fact, infringe or limit speech that is considered harmful to others. And this limitation has been supported by democratic governments and courts around the world for hundreds of years, including the U.S. Supreme Court. So in 1919, Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes famously defended limitations on freedom of speech, arguing that you can't falsely shout fire in a crowded theater. And in the late 1960s, the Supreme Court again upheld limitations on freedom of speech in the case of Brandenburg versus Ohio, if that speech would otherwise incite lawlessness or violence. So limitations on freedom of speech in the United States apply to other areas as well. So those who work in business know that you can't openly talk about sensitive information or a non-disclosure agreement or an NDA. Those who work in national security know that you can't openly talk about classified information. And there are even broader limitations on freedom of speech in the United States. For example, prohibitions on slander means that you can't make false or harmful statements about other individuals. But what is key here is that limitations on freedom of speech can only be imposed by the government. Many people often misunderstand this point. You'll often hear people complain that Facebook or Twitter is limiting their freedom of speech by not allowing some content to be posted. But Facebook is a private company and is not limiting freedom of speech. They're only limiting content or media posted on their platform. They're allowed to do this because people agreed to what is known as their terms of service, or TOS. People can still go out in public and speak about whatever crazy ideas they want. So ultimately, limitations on freedom of speech are widely recognized by democracies around the world, including the United States, as actually being quite beneficial for citizens, for society, for business, and it helps protect classified information and national security. So the next time somebody complains about limitations on freedom of speech in the United States, tell them they're right, but this is actually a good thing.